Hello and welcome back to Down the Track. It was a great day of cricket, Wednesday double header. Some really good cricket to watch. First, it was Sunrisers defeating Punjab, and then CSK holding on against KKR, who didn't give up till the end. I have with me Puneet. How are you doing, man?
Good man, what a game to watch.
Uh, first,
Amazing
uh,
game.
first half of the second innings, I thought it was over. We're gonna quickly start our show and everything, wrap it up. But
True.
these guys didn't give up. It's some insane hitting. First, it was Russell, Karthik as well in between, and then Cummins. Did you expect that after Russell got out, especially?
Not at all, not at all. I thought Karthik would play a cameo, but Cummins coming in playing that kind of an innings, never. Especially hitting 30 runs to Sam Curran. Oh my God, what play by Pat Cummins. It
Look
was
at that, six,
out of the
66
box.
of 34 deliveries, six sixes, four fours, and clean hitting. Whether it was down the ground or even mid wicket, even offside, it was clean hitting. He was timing it beautifully. It wasn't those edges going for six or anything like that. Clean hitting, and he's shown that he can play the all rounders role, and they actually have depth in batting. So, yeah, it's going to do them a world of confidence. But for KKR, they'll be disappointed with the way they started the batting. If they just lost like one or two wickets, this game would have been done with 15 overs, with 5 overs to spare.
Absolutely. I think starting of the innings, Shuman Gill was very unlucky.
Yeah.
He hit the shot straight to the third man. Anyway, on the left or right of Lungi, it could have gone for a four. But
Hmm.
then on Chahar just turned on his swing. He was getting those in swingers and out swingers. Game changed quickly, 34 for 5 in just 6 overs. We thought the game was done over there. But then Russell and Karthik, what a partnership by them, and then Cummins. Oh my God, what an innings by
Yeah, unbelievable, man. They took it to 202 from there. So,
them.
and the rate they were hitting
Insane.
at Andre Russell, the way he just didn't care. He was back to his best. And we talked about it yesterday also, both of us saying that these pitches will help him more. The Mumbai pitches, the Chennai,
True.
even in Dubai, it was slow. When the ball comes onto the bat, he uses his power. It's not just power. Today it was power, but I'm just saying, even if he has that power, he doesn't have to connect necessarily. But here, the ball is coming on the bat, so the pitch does make a difference for him.
Yes, absolutely. It did make a lot of difference here. The ball was coming to his bat and he was just going for his wild swings. I actually don't know what he did to Sam Curran. Why did he let that ball go? I think it was a straight six for him. It was in his arc. He could have easily just swung his bat on the leg side and the ball would have gone.
Yeah.
And the commentators also said that there was no deep square leg. So I have no idea why he let that ball go.
Just before that, I was saying he was playing so smart because he wasn't attacking Jadeja. He knew it's against the spin.
True.
He might top edge one. He was very smart about it, and then suddenly he let that go. It was just a misjudgment. You can't say anything else, right? It was just a misjudgment, and someone like him rarely makes errors like that. They might get out hitting, but like leaving the ball like that, I haven't seen him get out like that. It was crazy. But I think credit to him the way he played. Even Pat Cummins just he didn't give up. He kept the momentum going, and the surprising thing is they kept that run rate in check. Like throughout the
Absolutely.
innings, they lost by wickets, not by run rate. They could have easily chased it down if they had 3 4 wickets at the end.
True that. 20 runs of 12 balls on that pitch any day. Even
Any
with
day.
2 wickets in hand, they could have easily done that. And how Pat Cummins was batting,
Yeah.
Shardul was struggling. Sam Curran was thrashed in his third over, so he could have easily gone for extra runs in his fourth over as well. So, yes, definitely those extra 2, 3 wickets here and there, and it was KKR's game.
Tell me one thing: Pat Cummins today or Sanju Samson that day when he made 100? Which innings did you enjoy more?
I see with Sanju Samson is something like that. You can expect something from him because he's an opening batsman. He's the captain. You want him to score runs, but Pat Cummins is something out of the box. You can't
Hmm.
even imagine him hitting 30 runs to Sam Curran in 1 over and
That's
hitting
true.
those 4 clean sixes. I have never seen any Australian, especially on Mumbai pitches, hit that clean sixes to
That to a bowler.
especially to a opening bowler of England,
Yeah.
Sam Curran. So it's
But
something.
Yeah,
Amazing.
no, I agree with you. That was very surprising. Clean hitting, but like when Russell was hitting, that time I'm like this. I was not even one moment surprised. As soon as he came on, I said this guy has to hit. If he's the only one who can turn this game, and he's capable. We've seen Russell do crazy things in the past, so for me
True.
that wasn't surprising. But I agree with you. Cummins and to play that kind of innings and that kind of pressure is just unbelievable. Unfortunately, in the end, I don't blame him, man. People are saying, oh, why did he take the run? Why did he not take the run? You can't do anything. Like you just
Yeah.
needed more support. He really couldn't do much about it, but. If we just rewind a bit more, first innings, it was the Faf du Plessis show. 95, fantastic knock. He was looking in good form in the last game, but here he continued, he capitalized, he accelerated at the same time as well. Last couple of overs, he smashed it. Your thoughts on his innings?
I uh, I was really impressed by him. First, he was playing all shots down the ground. He was not
Hmm.
going for those big hits and lavish sixes. Then he came back to his natural game of sweeping or lapping the ball above the keeper's head. And then in the end, later on, he went for his flourish drives and sixes. So, what innings well paced, especially when Gaikwad was going crazy guns on the other end. He had
Yeah.
his time to settle down. He started off, then Gaikwad took over, and then Gaikwad got a quick 50, and then Faf knew what he had to do, and he studied his innings and then went for it later on. That
Yeah, perfectly controlled, perfectly paced, and yeah, it was a fantastic innings, and it shows he still has it. And Gaikwad, we were just talking about. Remember, I told you I'd give him one more game.
one more
Like yeah, because 5 games is the thing, and now we have to give him 5 more games. I think.
absolutely after the innings, he definitely secures his place in the opening of Chennai Super Kings.
Yeah, see, I mean, the conditions are in favor, but you saw the likes of, Rana, Gill, they've lost a wicket here. Gaikwad, despite not being in form, he showed that he is talented. Sometimes it just looks like he can clear the boundary with ease, but he looks so small. I don't know how he does it. I think he's very gifted in his timing. And today he showed that when it's a good pitch, he actually can score you a lot of runs. And I think he's complimenting Faf a lot as well. It's just a matter of form, to be honest.
Absolutely, I think he was told today by Fleming and Dhoni that today is your day. You just go play your day, otherwise we would have to move on from you. And I think he just performed as the way he had to.
Yeah, and credit to them for backing Gaikwad. To be honest, because in this situation, he got 4 games. They probably could have gone to Uttapa in this game itself. But
Absolutely.
like I also mentioned that they're already in a winning streak. Give him one more chance and see how it goes, and it paid off, and it'll help them going in the future because he's a youngster as well. It will really help their team in that sense. And yeah, I think it was just them two. They set up the platform and they finished it. Far finished it off with the KKR. The bowling Cummins very expensive, 14 and a half. Russell again 13 and a half. Were you disappointed, especially with these two?
See, as we saw in the second innings, Deepak Chahar was getting some swing. So maybe I think Morgan missed the point of giving the new ball to a pacer. He
Hmm.
started off with both spinners and then giving the fast bowler to. He gave one over to Cummins in the beginning, and then later on he
Yeah.
was taking out of attack. So I feel there was one miscalculation by KKR. Also, Nagar Kori coming in, playing on such a pitch. I thought Baji would have played be a better option. Uh,
On this pitch?
I think so. Why? Why I'll tell you because Baji has played for Bombay for almost 10 years,
Hmm.
and he knows that pitch very well. And we saw some spin for Moin and Jadeja in the previous game.
Yeah.
So maybe because of that, I felt Bachi would have been a better option. Plus, he gives you depth in batting as well. On such grounds, he can clear those grounds. We've seen him bat very well for Mumbai and getting some wins as well, especially against Sunrisers Hyderabad.
Yeah, no, for sure. I remember that clearly. But yeah, if you, I think Narayan and Chakravarti, like you said, the spinners
See,
bowled well.
they were the pick of the bowlers. If you
Yeah,
see, so if they had Baji in the squad, they might have cut down the score more 20 runs or something, and then that would have helped them.
yeah. To be honest, that's a fair point. And then I just think the last game he was bowling to AB de Villiers, so based on that, dropping him maybe that's why they dropped him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you. Maybe an extra spinner could have helped. But in these things, it's always ifs and buts. Like, you have to
Absolutely. It's
try it and
always
see.
ifs and buts.
But let me talk to you a bit about Owen Morgan. He'll be disappointed as well the way he batted. Like captaincy, I think he's doing a good job, decent job. But his own performance with the bat, this was a perfect wicket for him. I think these are the kind of pitches where he actually thrives on. And again, he lost his wicket under pressure. If he just gives you 40, 50 runs, it really helps the whole situation.
I think, as we spoke about him earlier as well, that he's not giving himself some time. He's going for those flourished drives and shots earlier in his innings. He knew that the run rate is pretty high. It's 220, so 12 runs per over required. So maybe that's the reason he was going for his shots early. But I still feel he should give himself some more time, especially after 3 wickets had already fallen and he coming into the crease. He already got one boundary, I guess, in that over. So he didn't have to go for any more drives in that over, especially Char's ball was swinging. So maybe if he would have stayed there for another couple of overs, the power play would have been done. The ball was coming nicely to the bat. And we saw what Russell Cummins and Karthik did afterwards. So I think a bad calculation by Morgan over there.
Yeah, and I think now they'll actually approach chases differently because they know the firepower that they have. So they'll be a bit more careful, I think, in the top with the top order. Like, I mean, one guy can go aggressive for sure, and one guy anchor because I think they have the firepower to chase any score down. Because if you can take a score from 30 for 5 to 200, then you can do anything pretty much. So they'll change their approach now.
Yeah, you have a great point. I feel they are missing someone who is playing the anchoring innings. There has to be someone who takes that ownership.
Which Shubman Gill was doing last year, but there's too much criticism about his strike rate, so I think he's trying to be more aggressive.
Yeah. I feel the same. He's taking too much pressure on his strike rate, and he's going for those flourishing drives and sixes in the start of the innings. We saw him in the previous game as well against RCB. He hit a 4 to Kyle Jamieson, then 2 sixes. He didn't had to go for another shot, but he did, and he got out. So someone has to take the ownership from KKR and play the anchor role.
You're okay with Tripathi batting one down, or would you like to everyone get pushed up down and let him play the finisher?
No, I feel Tripathi is performing well since the past 3 games. So just one game, we shouldn't let him go down. He is being batting well. If Shubman Gill or Rana gets out, he still gets and go that 30 and 40 odd runs. So I don't think so. We should move him from there. But definitely, if Morgan is coming as 2 down, he has to play the anchoring innings and take the match to the end and then go for his shots.
Yeah, no, 100%. Because I was just thinking out loud because the way they're clustered, the batting order, they have 3 young Indians and then they have 3 big guns. So maybe there's just to split them up. But I agree with you. I think they're playing in their desired position. Russell is a finisher. That's where he plays. Give him the last few overs and he'll kill it. Whereas these guys are more, because you saw him again today. If he came in 5 overs later, this game, he would have finished it. He would have 100% finished it. He came a bit too early, to be honest with you. And now with Cummins showing what he can do, they have a lot of depth in batting. And yeah, for you, player of the match, overall, CSK will be happy with how they performed. Yeah. But the bowling performance, there's a bit to ponder. They'll have to.
A lot to worry about, especially. And they were lucky that they had a guy like Lungi today inside the team.
That's a good move instead of Bravo, yeah.
Yeah, because that really helped them out. I felt it wasn't a pitch for Bravo today. Bravo could have gone for plenty as well. So that was a good change. But yes, definite worries for Shardul Thakur, especially in the death bowling, since he is the death bowler for CSK. Bowling too many wides. I felt the umpire was very lenient towards him by not giving almost like 4 or 5 wides.
I agree with you because I've seen wides like that given all the time.
All the time.
In this tournament itself,
Yeah, so I was a little surprised there that how come the umpire is being so lenient. And also, I feel with Jadeja, they don't have a good spinner. Like today, Dhoni was hesitant to try Moeen Ali, but they need someone like maybe.
Basically, they don't have a full-fledged. Yeah, they don't have a full-fledged spinner like an Imran Tahir.
Like Imran Tahir, maybe an Imran Tahir would have done a better job on this pitch.
Yeah, and these kind of pitches,
right?
especially
you don't have a leg spinner.
Yeah, you need specialist bowlers. These two are all-rounders, which they're fine bowlers, but on these kind of pitches, you need a specialist, ideally leg spinner, but who can get you wickets in the middle overs.
Yeah, I don't understand. They went for Krishnappa Gautam with such high price, and they've not been
Yeah,
anything there. He's
he
just
could have
always
stayed with us, man. He
a
could have just
fielder.
stayed with. He could have just stayed with Sunrisers. The Sunrisers wanted him, and they just outspent on Krishna Pagatham. They're not even using him. I'm like, I don't understand it either. You should have just let us have
Exactly.
him.
Yeah, it
Um,
was pretty weird on mine. I felt they needed a leg spinner, and they let go Piyush Chawla, so they didn't get anyone instead of Piyush Chawla. So maybe
yeah,
might
I
go
mean,
against them.
yeah, no, for sure, I agree because they can change games for you with wickets. But yeah, for you, player of the match, sorry, Faf.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't go with Faf. I really like the knock of Russell. Why? Because after being 34 for 5, if a man who could change the game on his head was Andrew Russell, and he did it. Unfortunately, the way he got out, but I felt the way he turned the game, it was a match to watch out for, right? So
Yeah, that was incredible innings.
it was an incredible inning. So
What a
definitely, my
player.
player of the day was Andrew Russell.
Andre Russell. I'm just going to go a bit different Pat Cummins because I think he just kept the game alive and he gave KKR a shot to win the game. Because after Russell, we were all packing up and saying, yeah, the game is done. So he kept the game alive, took it till the end. And like you said, it was unexpected. So I'm going to go with Cummins. But yeah, I think this wraps up this game. It was an amazing game to watch, to be honest. Wonderful display of batting, clean hitting from both teams. It was a different strategy. One was top heavy, Faf guiding everything, and then over here is bottom heavy, just clean
Absolutely. I
coming
was
and
thinking, I was
yeah.
thinking people who are playing the fantasy league should have taken the entire team of CSK and KKR today and played the double points because 224 runs in a
Yeah,
day with double
yeah.
points, they would have scored a lot of points.
Yeah, like I would have honestly. I saw the venue. I said here there's going to be more runs, but I have a personal bias, so I mess up fantasy. But I agree with you. I think we should have focused more on this game because there's plenty of runs and plenty of points available. So but at the end of the day, like we all went. Moin Ali, Faf performed, and then Russell, the guys who kept him, credit to them. But Cummins, like that was surprise. Who would have thought he's going to hit
Absolutely.
50 runs? Yeah, I think that wraps up that game. And then just briefly on the first game, it was a very good win for Sunrisers.
Happy
Finally,
day for you.
yeah, I mean, now I know how a win feels like in this season. It was looking like we're not going to win any game, but a good win in the end, convincing, especially losing the toss. This pitch is dying, man. They need to revive it. There's something gonna go.
Mm.
I don't know how people are gonna play on these wickets. Something needs to be changed. 120, and they won by 9 wickets, but I'm telling you, it was such a tough chase.
Absolutely. We saw that in the end when 10 runs were required of 12 balls. We thought that
Yeah,
some other thing is going to happen right
yeah,
now. If even Williamson or Bairstow could have got out, the match could have turned on his head.
yeah.
So anything can happen on Chennai wickets. But yeah, as you said, definitely they need to work on the pitches. The matches are going to become very boring from henceforth in Chennai. So low scoring pitches. Obviously, there will be some
Thrillers, low scoring thrillers. But
low.
the thing is,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
becoming very repetitive in the sense that the first 10 overs you get hit, second 10 overs, it's impossible to bat on. So if you
Exactly.
have anything in excess of 140, 150, actually it's like chasing 200 on this pitch.
Yeah,
Though you can say Williamson, I agree with you. You can say Bairstow, I agree with you. But the reason Sunrisers won this game is because they got them all out for 120. That's the main reason for
that
me.
was the main reason.
You
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
140 on this pitch it's very difficult. So I think that's the reason they won this game. And credit to the likes of Khalil. I think he bowled wonderfully well. But do you think Punjab they struggled to adapt to the conditions early, especially their batsmen, and that's where they lost the game? Just misjudged the conditions.
Yeah, absolutely. We see that, especially when they lost KL Rahul and Gale coming in, Agarwal was going as a at a runner ball, so they were not. They were already in a two-mind situation of not attacking in the power play, which is very
Mhm.
important in Chennai pitches. We know when the ball is hard and new, you need to attack in the power play, and then on continuous intervals, SRH kept picking up the wickets. So they never built any partnership. They never had someone who could pick up the strike rate. We saw Shahrukh doing a better cameo, but still he threw it away after the 20 odd runs. So definitely 120 was not a decent target after batting first and winning the toss. Definitely, they should have looked up to 140, which is a pretty good score on this wicket. So, and
More than
I'm happy with the bowling as well.
with the bowling, yeah, with no Ravi Bishnoi there, it does look light. But also, do you think? I honestly felt that they actually judged the pitch well. Sorry, I said they misjudged it, but I
Yeah.
actually felt, because the selection was, they had spinners in the team. They got in Fabian Allen as well. They got extra spinners. Deepak Hooda bowled as well. He judged the pitch. I just felt that this pitch, it's very difficult if you're not used to it. It takes 1 or 2 games, 3 games
True.
as a batsman to adjust. And even you can be a world class batsman like KL Rahul. It doesn't matter. Like you will struggle on this pitch.
So as per your point, the management judged the pitch well by making the changes in
But
the
the
team.
players didn't
The players could not adapt the conditions
adapt.
at all.
Yeah. The players couldn't adapt. That's what I felt. I felt they knew what the pitch is going to come up with, but when it actually came up with those challenges, they
They
didn't have
weren't
an
ready.
answer to that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think.
It's like they had the question paper, but they did not know the
Exactly.
answer.
Yeah, they didn't know that they had the question, but they didn't have the answers to it. And yeah, I think, like you said, wickets all the way through. Just your thoughts on Khalil coming in. We've been very critical of him in the past, and rightly so.
Yeah.
He's, every time he bowls a good over, he gets hit for 4. He bowls a no ball wide. But consistency is the key now. He's becoming accurate, and it's probably hard work and practice.
Yeah. I actually don't want to comment anything on Khalil because one day we comment on Khalil and next day he proves what Khalil is. So maybe touch wood, he plays
Last
better.
2 games, he's been much more mature, I
Yes,
think. In his
absolutely. The way he is, I hope he continues the trend. But definitely, I feel instead of Sadat, call
Natarajan.
Natarajan.
Yeah, but
Natarajan
Natarajan.
definitely is.
I think they mentioned in the last game they're giving him a break. It's not he hasn't been dropped. It was I think Tom Moody said that he's played a lot of international cricket as well. They don't want him to break down. So I think he has a history with injury as well. So they don't want even when he was in Punjab, I think he was injured for a bit. So they want to take care of that. But I agree with you. I think Siddharth Cole did a good job today, but Natarajan is very effective, especially at the death. Even Bhuvi's hamstring, he pulled it a bit. He came off. But he bowled much better today while he was bowling.
Yes,
Picked up the wicket of
definitely.
Rahul. He was much better. And that's it. When you bowl last 2-3 overs, if you keep it tight like that, keep them under 130, you have a chance to win the game. That's why it's very important. On these pitches, to be fair with you, like it's very important to be on your game on the field. 1-6 or 1-4 there, it becomes very difficult than when you're chasing. So I think Sunrisers, they've chased all the games and it's not been easy. But today they showed that they can, if they bowl well, they can really win the game. It's just a matter of restricting the opposition.
Absolutely, absolutely. I just wanted to ask you a couple of questions, especially about the change of Manish Pandey. I believe that was on the cards, but I felt it was unfair for Abdul Samad being dropped
He
because.
wasn't dropped. He got injured as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he shouldn't have been. Yeah, even when I saw that, I'm like, what is this? But he had some strain. I forgot what strain he had, so that's why he was dropped. That's why he was rested. But Manish Pandey, I believe he was dropped.
Yes. So, what were your thoughts about him?
Yeah, I
being
think
dropped?
it was a good decision. To be honest, he should come. Like when they're playing in Mumbai and stuff, he should come back. They need if he comes, then Williamson can bat at 4. I think it balances the order there. But he has to work on his game. I think it's a good thing. Before Manish Pandey looked like he's going to get a game every single game. He felt like I don't know, it just feels like he's invincible. He didn't say anything like that, don't get me wrong, but it just felt, I just feel that he felt that I'm going to be guaranteed a spot no matter what. Now dropping him, he knows that shit, I have to freaking work on my game. I have to focus now. And he is a talented player. And I think he'll still play a crucial role in this season. But it was a very good move by dropping him because it'll give him a kick up his butt, basically.
Absolutely.
It was
That's a good learning for him that nothing can be taken for granted. And
he's a quality player. Like he's played for India. He just needs to work on his game, especially his strike rate. And I'm sure he'll come back. And the pitches, to be fair, haven't been the easiest. We've been very critical on him, but you have to understand everybody is failing here. Like the likes of Chris Gale, the likes of KL Rahul. Warner finds it difficult as well. He plays run a ball. It's not that easy. But just speaking of Warner and Bairstow, the way they ran, I think that's where the game was done. Single double. I think that's how they killed the game off.
I think today they had come up with the mindset that they are not taking this, leaving it for anyone themselves. In fact, Warner was really pissed after getting out. He thought that he would finish it with Bairstow today. So that was an amazing captaincy by David Warner and a good contribution with Johnny. Johnny being in such great form is very much, he's on the peak of his form, and SRH can, as you already saw from 10th from the 8th position, they're straight to the 5th. So it's like a real good jump for them, and Johnny Bairstow can easily manage to get the net run rate up as well.
Yeah, and it's very good that, like you said, they learn from their mistakes. Johnny Bairstow, he's in absolutely tremendous form. In the last game, we saw his actual form, the way he was hitting it. He was smashing Bolt, Milne, and everything. But here, he realized that I need to throw this out the window. I need to play unnatural game. But at the same time, he can continue his form, but in a different manner. He can make it look a bit more uglier in the sense that it's not as explosive as the last game, but more effective in getting the team through. So I like that adjustment that he made. It shows. This is what class players do. And Williamson, of course, you've been talking about him. Everybody's talking about him. He just makes it more calm. I think everyone was in that dugout was way less stressed in this game because he was on the pitch.
Absolutely. As he comes in, and we know SRH is winning the game.
Yeah, I mean, for SRH, finally a good day for me also as a fan. But just quickly, we have a lot of Punjabi fans and a lot of Punjabi friends. Just for them, your thoughts, what can they improve on? Their bowling does look like an issue over here, and batting is not clicking on these pitches. Do they make changes in personnel? Do they bring in David Malan in instead of Chris Gayle, or do they does Rahul and Mayank Agarwal change their mindset? What do you like to see different from Punjab? Because now they've also lost 3 games.
I feel they've backed Puran a lot now. Puran getting out on zeros is not applicable. It's not. You can't just keep getting out on zeros. 4 matches.
What a run out, man! I couldn't believe it.
4 matches, 3 zeros. It's not acceptable at all. So I feel Malan can come in place of Puran, and I think Moses and Fabian Allen. Fabian Allen is something which can give them a spin on this kind of pitches, but I feel they need someone like Jai Richardson in the team. They need that one pacer. By leaving both Meredith and Richardson didn't make any sense to me. At least they needed Jai, who could have given them a better start on this kind of a pitch. So maybe get in Jai and David Malan for Puran and Moses, and then take it from there. But then the consideration of who's the finisher would be a problem, because Malan, I doubt, can play the finishing role. So in that case, Fabian Allen has to step up his game.
Yeah, no, 100%. But that's the thing. Like for me, Malan is more of a one-down player where Gayle is playing, and Puran plays that middle order finishing role. But like you're saying, he's not performing. What do you do, right? Like you have to figure it out. I think especially with these kind of pitches, I just feel
4 balls, 4 ducks. You can't accept that. And after being paid, it's like big money, right? You can't just.
Is it a Punjab issue? Because we saw Maxwell as well doing the same thing last year. What's happening in the back room? We need to ask our friends what's happening over there.
Yeah, Ashish was saying that number 4 is like a curse for Punjab. I don't know. Now they've changed the name and changed the jersey. They're actually following RCB, the RCB jerseys and everything. So maybe they're going that way. But definitely, they can see Gayle. If you're getting him one down, you can make him use as a finisher guy as well. Like if you want to try him out.
But on these pitches, don't you think Gayle needs to open just for the fact that he's playing the new ball? I know that Mayank Agarwal has a good chemistry, but just finish it off with the new ball, because after 10 overs, the pitch is something else, man. We saw how Rohit Sharma approached it like that, I mean.
See, we always spoke about this. We even spoke about it last season. Since KL Rahul's strike rate is not that great throughout the season, last year as well, though he was the highest run getter, he picks it up later in the innings. Why can't he come one down, let Mayank and Gayle open, make them utilize the power play?
But that strike rate is going to be a problem wherever he comes. He needs to work on that, because if he comes one down, and after like a great start, they'll still be he'll bring them back to the same run rate. You know what I mean?
But he can play the anchor role on one down position. He's why I'm saying not to open with KL Rahul is because they're misusing the power play. If
Basically, what you're saying is that if the thing is when Rahul is anchoring from opening and Agarwal's going all guns blazing, if Agarwal gets out, then Gale needs 2-3 balls to get in, and Rahul is still playing at the same strike rate, so the run rate is going down. But if KL Rahul
exactly,
comes one down, the other guy's already set, then he can accelerate.
exactly, and in fact, if Gale and Agarwal both go blazing in the first 6 overs, they can put up a huge total. So you never know because Gale is the guy. He's the opener throughout. We've seen
Yeah,
him.
for me, it's just on these pitches particularly. I think they got the combination kind of right because those two are in incredible form. They have chemistry, right? Rahul and Agarwal. But on these pitches, I just feel you're misusing him. You have to open or you drop him and play Malan because Malan is the perfect one down. I feel he's the
Exactly.
number one T20 batsman in the world. I think if you're gonna play someone one down, he has to be there one down. You drop Gale and you play him. Otherwise, you open with Gale and you shuffle Agarwal and Rahul. That's what I feel.
Exactly. You can do that. You can do that. You can definitely put Mayank as two down and play Malan as one down, Gale and KL Rahul opening. But I always feel Gale and Agarwal should open on such pitches because Gale needs that hard ball in the first 6 overs, and
Yes, I agree.
going guns blazing would really put better score for Punjab.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. Punjab they have an excellent batting order, and the fact that the lower order is actually doing good. We talked about the lower order being like Sunrisers a bit inexperienced, but the likes of Shahrukh and Deepak Huda are stepping up. So if they're in good form, you need to maximize the form by giving them a good start, a good platform. Right
It's
now, they're trying to save an innings. It's not going to work like that, right?
true that.
So
Yeah,
I think.
we're seeing Shahrukh is being performing throughout the season, but the only thing is that he's getting very few deliveries. And the time he got like 10, he came 10 overs prior. He controlled his innings and at least made a
He
50.
didn't get any support.
Exactly, that was unfortunate for him, but he at least showed that he has it in him.
Yeah, definitely. Their lower order has been better than their top order. The top order has to improve, and they have the firepower there. I think that's what's going to disappoint them. That the top order is not clicking, and this is the side effects of that, right? We all talk about we don't have a finisher, this and that, but if we saw again with KKR today, if you don't make use of the power play, then you're always behind the 8 ball in the game. So the top is as important as the bottom, basically.
True that.
Yeah. Yeah, that wraps it up just quickly. RCB versus Rajasthan Royals. RCB, will they make it 4 in a row? Can this Rajasthan team has 2-3 match winners and they're going to depend on them all day long. But one advantage they have, they're going to play in Wankhede, I think. So RCB will have to adjust. The only problem here is KKR adjusted nicely. The only problem here is the RCB bowlers have not bowled on this kind of pitch, and it'll be interesting to see how they go because in the past they haven't bowled that well in these kind of pitches.
Yeah, I think, but they have Kyle Jamieson in their team who would be effective on this pitch.
That's
As
the
we
pace.
spoke earlier also about Rajasthan, once Ben Stokes was gone, it's very difficult season for Rajasthan. But maybe a David Miller show tomorrow, or you never know, Sanju Samson back in form for.
Yeah, Sanju Samson really needs to just be more responsible. I think he has all the shots.
He has
Be
to.
responsible. Yeah, and I think for me again it relies all on Butler, the top order. Even if he does give a start, he needs to continue. And David Miller and Samson, these are the three batsmen. I would like to see, like you mentioned, Parag. I think it's a good idea that you give if he comes promoted up the order and just plays his game freely.
Yeah.
And it's going to be difficult though. AB Maxwell. To be very honest with you, I don't know what you feel. I don't know if AB is going to get enough deliveries tomorrow. It looks like a good wicket to bat on, and will he get promoted one down if they get a good start? What do you feel?
I feel if RCB are batting first, then AV should be promoted. But if they're batting second and they're going good, then they should stick to the plans.
Yeah, and also we don't know what kind of Mumbai wicket we're going to get. This was an amazing wicket to bat on, but again, the Chennai Rajasthan game, there's a lot of turn on offer, so it depends on what wicket we're going to get. And when it's a slower wicket, I think AB is even more lethal. So,
But still, it was a high-scoring game. They still managed to get 180 runs odd in the first inning. So,
comparatively, it's
Rajasthan who threw it away, but obviously it was a good batting wicket for RCB. Obviously, they will like it. And AB has already been lethal on Mumbai grounds. We've seen him hit I think, a couple of centuries in Mumbai, or maybe an 80 odd runs. So he likes that ground, even Virat. So Let's see.
Yeah, and your prediction, will it be the Maxwell
No,
show again?
I'll go with RCB because I don't see RR winning without Ben Stokes. Maybe Butler show, but it's all dependent on one or two guys in Rajasthan Royals.
No update on Jofra Archer yet either, right?
Exactly, they're missing out Jofra Archer as well. So, but most of
Yeah,
the
they
team
need
is doing a decent job. Obviously, they
It's
need.
just the impact, man. The Archer is, I think, the best T20 bowler in the world. I just feel that he knows the game inside out. He came in as a T20 specialist, and he's very lethal. It's not just that he's fast; he is quick, but he knows exactly which line and length to bowl, and he has deadly variations. So I
Absolutely.
think they're definitely missing him as well. Right now, Rajasthan do look the weakest on paper, but individual brilliances they can pop up surprises like Delhi. No, don't take Rajasthan lightly. But I agree with you, man. This RCB team probably might have too much for them. I'm just hoping for a good game goes down to the wire, and if we see some fireworks from both sides, it'll be good. Because the thing is, Maxwell has the advantage. He has AB and Kohli, whereas Butler, it's mainly him. And then
Exactly, Butler only, right? And
yeah,
he opening the innings, he's like, oh my god, everything's on him. Like
hmm.
the team is dependent on him, and we don't know how David Miller will cope up against spin again if the pitch is turning. So
Chahal and Sundar. Yeah, no, I agree with. Thank you so much for joining me. It was a really good discussion. A good days of cricket, a good day for me as well, and some high quality hitting towards the end.
absolutely, what a day.
Take care, man.
Take care, buddy.